Hello everyone, welcome to the God
Hello
Stack.
everyone.
Welcome to the
Hello
God Stack.
everyone.
Let me just
Hello everyone.
welcome to the God
Hello
Stack.
everyone.
Let me
Hello
just
everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello
sorry about that. Yeah, now it's better. Hello everyone, welcome to the God Stack. Let me just adjust the camera. Yep. I believe that now it's better. There we go. Good night. How are you doing, Bruno? How was your day?
It was fine. And yours?
It's really
How it
fine day.
was?
Worked a lot
Nice.
today. There's a lot of things to do, and well, but in the end of the day, the teamwork won. And I was
Hello
work with
everyone.
hello everyone from the chat.
Who's watching?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have Dev Brick today, Whale Bites. So welcome Dev Brick. Welcome the Whale Bites. Flavia Martini, thank you for the follow. Emidio, thank you for the follow. Dino Baria, thank you for the follow. Vitor Ravelino, thank you for the follow. Tempone, Marcelo Roses, Helsus, Mateus, Zero, everybody that's in the chat. Thank you very much for the follow. And well, talking about React, this is what we're doing. Just a little bit of resume of everything that we've done these days. In the last session, we worked with teams. So I've showed you one of the possible ways that you can work with themes into React. Again, this is one of the possible ways. I was talking to Bruno in when we finished the session, and we were talking about that now styled components has its own theme, so you can use it. Okay, so let me just put it here. There we go. Hello, Rafa. Welcome to the God Stack. So if you go to styled components theme provider, I don't know if this is something new, but I believe that's something that it was there with the styled component. But you can use the theme context from styled components. And the question is why I am not using that. I'm not using that because I kind of don't like dependency. Okay, and when you are going to do some kind of project, for example, we work at Platanus. When we are doing our job at Platanus, we don't know which one it's gonna be our next client. So we don't know if the client has any kind of infrastructure, if it does not, if it's going to accept what we are going to advocate him to do or not. So we need to create infrastructures when we are working from the back end, from the front end, and whatever. Things that are, how can I say, it's easy enough to handle with different configurations. So if you are working to if you are going to work with any CSS framework, if you're not going to use it, and things like that. So what I'm always trying to do when I'm building engineering is trying to avoid as much as I can to be attached or to be enslaved of something. For example, it's really required to avoid as much as you can to be attached to one cloud, to one simple server, one kind of engineering and all. Of course, some things it's impossible to not be attached. For example, we are using React. Okay, so we already have all the attachment with this kind of technology, so we could use another one. And again, it's not about the language or the libraries that you're choosing, the frameworks that you're choosing, but it's about the whole engineering. Okay, so I'm attached to Apollo as well in the backend and in the front end. So sometimes you need to make some decisions when you are developing software, and this is really important for an engineer. So you look to the software and say, hey, which one is gonna be the best for some case. Of course, in different how can I say, in different positions or with different clients and with different requests and all, I could choose different frameworks. I could use REST, I could use any other thing. So again, it's not about the language, it's not about the JavaScript, it's not about the React or anything. It's about what we need to do in order to have a as much complete as it can be software. So this is the reason, for example, I'm not really explaining React here. So I didn't get to the point that I'm talking about just the components. So if you go to YouTube, there's a lot of videos there teaching you how does a component works and all of that. We will do that here. Not right now. We will do that. But the most important part for me as an engineering, as a senior engineer, is look for a software development and see that all the things that's needed to build a good product for my client will be there. So the themes needs to be there. The transpiler needs to be there. All the translations needs to be there. Things that people does not do from the start, and they like to do that when the software is more on the way. And I believe that this is gonna give you a lot of headache in the future. You're gonna have a lot of problems in the future. So if you have all these things set up since the beginning, this is going to help you. And if these things are not real automatic with libraries that are hidden into a bundler or anything like that, you understand everything that's here. So this is the reason I'm doing everything here line by line, getting every single line and explain you what I'm doing. So if you take a look, everything that we have here, every single file that we have here, we open it, we created something inside of it. If you get the webpack, if you get the package JSON, the JSON config, the bubble config, git ignore, slint, the index, all the themes, the hooks, the environment, the scripts, you know why it's here, all the infrastructure, you know everything why it's here, you know the registry. We talked about the Docker files, how we do that for the front end. So in my concept, in my point of view as a senior software engineering, I believe that the most important thing for a software developer is to be the owner of the technology. So you need to understand the technology, and you need to understand that you need to understand everything that surrounds that technology that you need to use in order to develop a good product to your client. And it needs to be fast, it needs to be scalable, it needs to be easy to use. This is one of the things that most of the people just let it go. And I look at a lot of people talking about some software development paradigms that they don't have the easy to use, easy to develop. And this is a very important part, because your software are going to start to grow and grow and grow, and at some point you will not be able to understand anymore alone what everything is done, and you will need a team to work with you. And if this is not easy enough to handle, if you don't understand every single line that's around everything, some things are magical. You just call some function. This function will be handled in a server. The server will do all for you. In the beginning, seems magical, seems good, but when the software starts to grow a lot, if you don't have software developers that owns the development, that owns the technology, that it's the owner of the technology, you're gonna have problems. So it's really important that everything it's easy to use, that you understand, and it's clear, it's right there in front of you. So try to avoid standards that's gonna be really difficult to use. Okay, this is one of the things that we've done in the backend. So I've did all the backend with you. I've explained line by line, and I've explained everything that we need, all the layers, the infrastructure layer, the domain layer, the application layer. Why do we have any kind of layers? And we are grouping everything in small parts of the thing so you can handle that. So this is really important when you are working with software development. This is really important when you are doing things. So in the end, why did I choose to use themes with style component, but I did not use style component itself as a theme provider? Because I want to handle that by myself. I want to create a hook to do that, and the hook will be here. I want to be the one that controls when it's light, when it's dark, if the client is set or not, what kind of client I'm using here or not. So this is all very important parts in the software development. So as a hint, as something that I would like to give to you, that is the other side, and as a senior software developer, if we're going to choose anything, choose the technology that's not going to make you enslaved of that can makes you as much free as you can, and makes you open the possibilities for anything. Okay, keep going with that. So let's just change it for the programming. There we go. Today, okay, so we worked with the themes and all that I was talking about to you. What we need to do, and this is one of the things that when I was working in Brazil, and when you work with people from the United States, most of the time they just let it go. And it's the translation. In the United States, when people from the United States develop software, they just use the English, and translation is something like, well, if somebody it's from abroad, they should know English and all that. This is not the case for most of people in the world. So I believe that if you have a translation in software, and this is embracing people from all around the world. Okay, and we do that in Brazil as well. People start to developing software in Brazil, and they forget about the translation because they think, well, this software is going to run inside Brazil. Nobody around the world will use it. So let's just focus and forget about the translation. Don't do that. Yeah, and it's really easy. I'm going to show you that it's something so simple to set up that you shouldn't just let it go. You know, you should use it. Okay. So the library. So well, the first part. Let's do what we always do. Let's clean everything and let's make it goes up and check if it's working. If it's still working, it should. There you go, API and SPA. It's building. and let's just check it. spa.local.tgs.com and check. Yes, it's still working. And now we need to install two libraries. Okay, so let's do that as we always do. Let me just make it bigger for people at home to see it better. Nice. So docker exec, because we always install anything inside the component. It's gonna be a Docker execution iterative with terminal and spa and yarn. I will execute the command yarn add, and then I'm going to add the translation library, that's i18 next, and the other one it's React and the same name. React i18 next. We just need both of them. One, it's for the core of the application. Another one, it's to be working with React itself. Okay.
I have a question about these libraries.
Yeah.
Why do we need them? Couldn't we just make another provider and set up internationalization provider to
Let,
do that?
let me just.
What is the advantages to have these libraries?
Which one you're talking about?
Both of them.
You mean I didn't get the idea. You mean the library to translate the things for us?
Yeah. Why we couldn't have just like a language provider?
Your voice are breaking
It's
for me. I'm not.
better now if I
Yeah,
put
yeah,
the
yeah. It's better. Yeah,
microphone
it's
in my
better.
okay. Why couldn't we just have a language provider? Why do we need these libraries? What is the advantage to have them?
I didn't
To
get the
have
idea
this
of
library?
language provider.
Yes,
What what's the
because
how would it be a
let's
language provider?
let's imagine a
Yeah,
little bit. We have some kind of page, and this page has two languages,
yeah.
Portuguese and English. And we could just switch the language like we do with the team.
This is what we're going to do.
But why do we need the libraries? Why we need to? What is the advantage to have them? We couldn't just do that with the provider.
You mean create a context, use the context of the React
Yes,
to do
yes,
that for us? Because that's
yes.
exactly what these libraries are going to do for us. Exactly.
Okay, 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 okay.
Well,
Let's go for it.
we can do that. We can do that. I will do it, and then we will try to do together the thing that you are talking about. I believe that I kind of understand what you're talking about, and now that you said, I have a feeling that it's a good idea. You mean you could have, just like we have the theme provider.
Yes, we
We
have
can
like
build
a
our own.
color.
Instead
Yes,
of
like
instead of using a library, we could just build our own theme provider and translation
yes.
provider.
Instead of light and dark, could be Portuguese and English.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yes, I know. Yes, I know. So,
Let's go for it. We
what
can.
do you think of this idea? Let's just do this using the library, and then we can think together about how would we
Okay,
do the same thing without using the library.
okay, okay.
Do you think that's a good idea?
Awesome.
Nice. So let's do it. Let's go for that. Okay. Let me just. So, if I'm using this library, I'm just going to create a new folder here. Okay, and this folder is gonna be the translation folder, and it's recognized by the VS Code. That's the translation folder. Okay, and then I will of course create a index.js file inside of this. Okay, and I need to import two different libraries here. Okay, both of the libraries that I've installed. So it's gonna be from not this one, this one. So let's call it, okay, and then import something from it's gonna be React, this one, okay. And inside of this I have a function that does this kind of translations for me. All right. And when we are going to use it, okay, so let's call it the int, and then let's do the .use. Okay, it's a function. This function, you will pass for this function the translations. Okay, so I will show you how to do that right now, but I'm not just going to instantiate it right now. And then I need to start it. Okay, so I need to pass some resources. I need to pass the language that I'm going to use. Okay, the key separator, I'm not going to use that, so I'm not going to use a key for my library. And then I will have the interpolation. Okay, and this interpolation escape value, it's gonna be false, so it's not going to escape any kind of value for me. Okay, so what's missing here, I need to pass init for that, and now I need to create the resources, okay, and the language. So for the resources, the resources is gonna be the languages, okay, the language that I want to use. So let's just create it. The resources are objects, and this object needs to receive a language, okay, and you should use the international language names. Okay, so for example, for English we are going to use ANUS. This is United States English. For Brazilian it's gonna be PTBR. Okay, and you can just use PT if you want to the Portuguese Portuguese. Okay, and for example for Spanish it's gonna be ES, and if you just use ES, this is gonna be the Spanish. Okay, inside of each one of these you need to pass a translation. Okay, and for this translation you need to pass an object. Okay, and this object, inside of this we will have all the translation that we need. So let's just do that from just here. So the sources are here. This is gonna be just like that. Okay, there you go. We don't have any kind of translation right now, no problem. And then we need to choose a language to start. Okay, so let's just, for example, const let's call language. We're gonna choose start, for example, with the English one. Okay, so it's gonna be the same name that we use here, English United States. This is everything that you need in order to start using the translations. Okay, nice. And now you need to come here to the index file. Okay, and you need to do an empty import. So you just need to do that. Okay, I'm just going to be more specific, and I'm just going to specify the folder, but you can just do the other way. Why do we do this empty import? Yeah, so I'm not importing anything from this file. I'm just importing the file itself, because as you can see in the file itself, when you import it, it's going to run this script. So it's going to execute these things. Okay, so I'm just saying that if you start with translation, the translation should be here, and that's all you need. That's all you need in order to configure all the translations. Okay, and most of the people just go to the component and put the translation inside of that. So for example, I just come here and import everything that I need in order to work the translation. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to concentrate everything that I need into the hooks, my context. Okay, so this is what I need to do. So let's do that. So I'm just going to import the use translation. That's a hook that I can use in order to work with translations. Okay, and then I'm just going to call it, and I will receive the translations in here, and I will receive a function that I can use this function in order to translate anything that I want in my component. So let's just put both of them. Let's do that in the end. So I will just add this here and the y18n here. Okay, so now I can just call my hook. Okay, and when I call my hook will have everything that I need in order to translate and create anything that I want inside my component. Let's just do that into the home page. Okay, nice. So in the home page, I will do that here. Let's just...
Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Senhores, muito feliz. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado, senhor. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado.
Eu esqueci que eu tinha habilitado esse negócio de áudio. O Arthur me deu um susto, eu tava no meio. I was in the middle, I'm sorry. I was so afraid with the sound that I started to speak in Portuguese. But well, Arthur, thank you very much for the appreciation of the code, and let's keep doing that. Okay. So now I'm just going to use the translation. Okay. So I have this this T into my use my context. The T was already here, so I'm just going to use it. Okay, so let's do that. And it's a function. What should I pass to this? I need to pass to the translation just a code. Okay. So in order to make everything better organized, so in order to make things be more easy to handle, I will use as code the folder structure. Okay, so I will just call it pages dot home page. Okay, home page dot any word I want to. So let's call it hot dog. Okay, so there you go, hot dog. And now that I have a code, if I go to my page, it's just going to show the code in here. So it's just going to show pages, home page, and hot dog. So what do I do to make this translation work? How do I create a how do I transform this code into a translation? So I will just copy this code, okay, and I will go back to the translation. Just go back to the translation, and here inside of this translation I will add this code. And as this is an object for United States, this is gonna be called hot dog. Okay, hot dog. There you go. And then I will just do exactly the same thing, and I will translate it. Show can't. There we go. And for Spanish, it's gonna be. Anyone knows how to say hot dog in Spanish? I don't know as well, so let's do it. Cachorro quente. Okay, and then in Spanish, is hot dog in Spanish? Perito caliente. Me gusta más. Perito caliente me gusta mucho más. So let's do it. And no, not this one, this one. So let's use perrito caliente. Nice. So if you go to the page, it's gonna say hot dog. But you can change, if you want to, you can change the translation to Portuguese. So if I want to do that, I can use the other context. It's this one, okay. And I will just import it from here, for example. And let's create another button. Let's just add some. I know you shouldn't do that in use BRs and all that, but I'm just doing that for the sake of the, the example. So I'm just going to add another thing like that, okay. And this button, it's gonna execute this thing, okay. And I believe it's not just like that. Let me just get to the next. API, and then I did remember by hand. How do I translate it? Okay, fallback and all that. It was, well, let me just try to get it from, I remember that we have a, I don't remember now. I don't know if it was language or language. It was something like that. Let me see. I'm not.
What is the error? I didn't see.
It's not an error. I forgot how do I execute this any function in order to change the language. It was something like just dot language or dot something like that in order to change the the language. On the button. So it's not but I believe that the getting started will give me this. This is the init, and then let's go to the API. This is gonna be the init. This is execution. Execution. This is the T to translate. The next. Change language. This one. Okay. So it's just use the change language. There you go. And then you choose a language. Let's, for example, use PTBR. Whatever this one. So let's call it change language. Okay. Let's go back to the thing, and when you change language, it's going to change to Portuguese. Okay. And of course, you could use a select, for example. So when you select a language, this is going to do like that. So actually, you can do that. Portuguese. There you go. So I got Portuguese. This is not even working, isn't it? There we are. Yeah. Okay. So that's gonna do that. I need a sentence. Let me just do something key. It's float flex direction color. There we go. Better. So I don't need these things. I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this, and I don't need this, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So we are going to use yes, and then this is gonna be Español, right? And this one is gonna be English, okay? So there you go, and this is gonna be NUS. There you go. So when we click on Portuguese, it's gonna be hot dog, cachorro quente. In Spanish, it's gonna be perito caliente. In English, it's gonna be hot dog, right? So you just can translate all your pages into that. For example, you can use the same idea. So let's do the translation here. You need, of course, to use the React to do that for you. And let's create another thing. It's called pages dot homepage dot change language. Okay, nice. So let's just do that because we don't want to make things out of our screen. And then you just need to copy it, and then you go inside of here, and let's add it here. And this is gonna be for English, it's gonna be change language, and Portuguese, it's gonna be trocar idioma, okay, and for Spanish is gonna be cambiar idioma, okay. So when you do that, it's gonna be change language. If you do Spanish, is gonna be cambiar idioma. Okay, Spanish is cambiar idioma, and English is gonna be change language, and Portuguese is trocar idioma. Okay, so it's so easy, so easy to work with translations that I don't know why people don't even start doing that in the application. If we have these, of course, if my software starts to grow a lot and be a very big software, we need to make a better strategy in order to work with it, isn't it? So let me create, I will just create another folder in here, new folder. It's called Locales. Okay, it's gonna be Locales, and inside of this I will create another folder called ptbr.js. okay, and let's do export default const ptbr, and this is gonna be an object. Okay, and let's just copy the object from here. Okay, and let's put it in here. There you go. So I have ptbr here, and export default ptbr to make everything just like the way we like to do. So I'm just going to create another one. It's gonna be anus.js, and it's gonna be the same thing. So let's just copy it and just do it here, and this is gonna be anus. Okay, there you go. And then of course I'm just going to get I did it the other way, isn't it? Yeah, I did the other way. So let's just copy it from here, add it here. Nice, it was already done. So I just come here, just cut it from here and add it to this. Nice. And then I will just get this. Need a new file, as.js. Okay, and I will do the same thing. So let's get these and add it here instead of that. I'm just going to do that, okay? And I will come here and I will just get this thing, okay? Just remove it from here and let's just add it here. There we go, way better. And then I can just import es from locales.es, okay? And the es, it's gonna be here, and I'm gonna do exactly the same thing for other languages. So let's do that, ptbr, and then let's do the ptbr, and then here it's gonna be NUS. So this is gonna be this is gonna be this, and this, it's gonna be this, okay? What's ptbr, okay. So there we go. Let me just adjust this f2 ptbr, just make everything be nice. Let's check if it's everything working. Portuguese is changing, the theme is changing as well, so really easy to work, okay? And there we go. That's all. I'm sorry, that's all you need. That's all you need if you want to create a translation into your folder. And of course, now if you want to start with just English, there is no problem at all. You're just going to do everything just using this translation, and you will just start with English, and you just have English for your application, and you create all the translations and you will put inside of this folder, okay? Just start with English. Forget about all the language. Just do that in English, okay? When the software is almost ready to go, what you're gonna do, you're just going to get the English US folder. You're going to copy it to Spanish, copy it to Portuguese, and you're going to translate everything that you have in your software, okay? And a lot of translators around the internet, there's a lot of people that's professionals that do that. They will be able to do that for you. So you just need to get the English file the way it is, exactly in the way it is. You just get this English file. Most of the translators already understand this kind of structure, so they already understand how to do that. And then you pass it to then, for example, Chinese. I know nothing about Chinese, so you would really require a professional to do that for you. Russian, Arabic, some African languages. It's gonna be really difficult to do that, you know, for you. For example, I just know English, Spanish, and Portuguese. This is just all the languages I know, and well, for the other languages, you would, for example, require a professional to do that for you, okay? And it's gonna be really easy. Just get a file, send it to him, explain a little bit about the structure, and he will be able to do all the translation for you. And well, I believe that's it. So, as we done that, as we already finished this idea, I really want to go back to the Bruno's idea and try to understand what was in his mind, if there is anything here that's missing from what he wanted, and what could we do that could be an option for what we are doing here. But first, hello Guilherme, welcome to the God Stack. Debs, welcome to the God Stack. And Nathan Hota, welcome to the God Stack. Welcome everybody that's
Welcome, guys.
that's in the chat.
So actually, the functionality is the same. I was just wondering if we can get rid of the libraries and
Yeah.
do it for ourselves
This
with
is
the provider and the context.
yeah. I believe I'm so used to do that in that way that I've never stopped to think about how would I get rid of this library, or is it possible to get rid of this library? Is that another? Is that a better way to do that? And
Yes, maybe
when you
maybe there's some feature in this library that is very useful and hard to made by ourselves, but I don't know.
hmm,
I don't know what else we can what do we have here now? We can do by ourselves for sure.
hmm,
But
I believe that if we just work with the simple one, uh,
yes,
it would not be
I
that
don't.
difficult. It would not be that difficult. What we need to do in order to do that is to create a context, just like we've done with the team. Okay, so we create a translation context, and we will.
Yes,
Let me just try to. We will have
we
a
can have the same structure and just
yeah,
change some things.
yeah, yeah. You are right. I believe that we could have the
We
same structure.
we also have a method that is,
Yeah, we have a toggle. We can have a toggle language. We would have
yes,
the translation. That's gonna be an object for us. The translation is gonna be an object, and we can use it. We can use it, for example, in the component. We could use that instead of doing this. We could use something like that. So it would be like t, and instead of function, we would pass just a something like that. Okay, and of course, when we have these, let me just take a look at these again, because here it's exactly you are right, Bruno. You're right. We could have translation and then the language. This will be passed to this object, and this object will have everything. So I wouldn't have this one. I would just have this one. So I would get the themes and the translation. So when I do a toggle theme, this is gonna change
yes.
the language.
And we could
When I
even have a method that defines the default language by the language that is set in the browser of the client.
yeah.
There is
Well,
a there is
yeah. Actually, in this one, we could do that here as well.
yes, yes.
We could
We
if
have we have a method that is native of the browser. The it and it has full support in all browsers. I'm already looking to it. It's navigator.language. It will return the language of the browser, the default language. So it's
really
what the client
uh,
needs. If
navigator
you
dot language. Yes, you're right.
navigator,
You're
yes,
right. Navigator dot language. Yeah, we do have this. So we can get the language from the navigator. Uh, well, actually, I'm using
and this
Brazilian
could be the key of the language object
to render the
to
website.
render, yeah,
Yeah.
return
Of course,
the
we would
translation.
let the client decide it.
Yeah,
If not,
but by default, we could have uh, this method too.
yeah, but I would change it to this, isn't it? And then I need to do that, isn't
Yeah,
it? And then
yeah,
let's just test it. So when I start my browser, this is using the English, okay? So let's get navigator dot language. Is it a function or something just like that? I believe it's just like that. Yes, it's just like that. So let's see what it
Maybe
didn't.
maybe we need a verification because we don't have all the languages in our application. We could have a verification that sees
Yeah,
if the language exists on the object, uh, return the translation of
it's the
this language.
BR. The BR.
If
It's
we doesn't,
captain.
if we don't have,
Man,
return English.
yeah, yeah. You are right. You are actually right. So we could just use that. As we can see, I set it as navigator language, and it's getting the language. And now
Nice.
I need to check if the language exists in the object, isn't it?
Yes, because someone in Russia could access our application
And we wouldn't
and
have the
we don't have this
translation.
translation, so
Yeah,
we have to return some text.
I believe that in US it's gonna be just like that, isn't it? And yeah, Spanish is gonna be Spanish, but both of them is gonna be like that. Nice, nice.
We can have a problem too, that is, we have PTBR, but we could have PT of Portugal. We could split the text that comes inside the navigator dot language and get just the first position of the array that will be the country code.
Yeah,
So
I don't believe
PT.
that. Yeah, these I don't believe that's a good idea, because for example, we have the official Portuguese and the Portugal Portuguese, and for example,
Okay, but just in case we
there's a
don't
lot of
have.
difference between the official Portuguese and the Portugal Portuguese.
Yes, but just in case we have just the translations of one country, you know, we could check for the both of the possibilities. We this I just having some thoughts here
It's actually real good thoughts, real
because
good thoughts.
because Spanish also has. I was looking into take a look on this link that you sent.
Let me see if this is
There's a
so.
lot of languages code, a lot of
Um,
kind of Spanishes, a lot of
I'm
kind
doing
of
length listen. I believe this did that. Yeah, it's just that. So I could do something like that. If I have the language set in the resources, I'm just going to use the
yes,
language. If it's not, it's going to
perfect,
use
perfect.
English.
That is
So
exactly what I
yeah,
was thinking.
English is going to be the standard. If not, we can use the. I actually liked that a lot. Liked that a lot. I didn't know the navigator language, but this is a real good one, Bruno. Real good one, man.
Nice.
Nice, nice. This is really nice. Okay. So what we're gonna do? We have two options, or we try to do that, and I really want to try to do that. Actually, now that you said that, I'm really want to do it. Or we can keep going and doing all the other things that we would have plans to do.
Yes, because if you what the chat wants,
Yeah,
because if you go for it, we we'll spend all the
yeah.
today's sections doing
Man,
that. Doing
actually, I like your idea so much because I'm one of the people that if I can get rid of something I really want and I really like to get rid of that thing. So let's do that. Let's try to do that. This is out of the scope, so I don't have anything prepared for that. We will try to do that alive, okay? So let's do it. And you can help me, Bruno. So let's call it EAN I already have this one. Bruno, for now. Let's call it IN Bruno. Okay, so let's just get the same, let's like use the same structure and the same idea of the themes. Okay, so I will create a new folder here. Let's call it language provider. Okay, and inside the language provider, a new folder called language context. Okay, I'm just visually copying the same structure that I have here. Okay, and now of course we will need these, so let's copy these to paste here, and this is going to be the same, but instead of themes context, this is going to be language context. Okay, nice. No doubts up until now. Let's copy
That's
exactly this and paste here and start to do some changes. Okay, so
It'll be almost the same as the theme, just the lanes, I think. It will be just will be almost the same as the theme context, just changing some names.
Yeah.
The method.
Yeah, exactly. So let's what? No, it's this one. So let's do the export. The default as language context from language provider language context. Okay, and let's do exactly the same thing, but instead of language context, let's do the language provider, and here it's gonna be language provider. There we go. Okay, so we have both of them exported here, and this is gonna be this, and we don't have these things in there. So I have the language context. What do we have for? So let's just get the language context by now. So I wouldn't have a client anymore. Okay, and instead of team and set teams, gonna be just language. Now instead of language, we would call it because this is gonna be the team that it's. This is the language.
Maybe locale.
Nice, man. Nice. Locale. And set locale. Okay. And then this is gonna be local storage. It's gonna get locale. If not, we are going to do the navigator dot language, and then we make it better in the future. Let's just do it. So this is gonna be change language. Nice. Change language, and this is gonna be just like that. Nice. So when we execute the changed language, what are we going to do? The first thing is this changed language needs to receive a language. Okay, so this is going to set the new language to this one. This is gonna be just like that, and this is gonna be just like that. Okay, nice. So I have my locale. What should I do with that? I will call it the translations locale. I would get that translations locale. and this we could call it, let's just use the T. I like the T thing, just a T. Okay, and I would of course use the language context. Okay, and this is gonna be, instead of temp provider, this is gonna be language provider. Nice. And now I need all the translations. How would I do that? I'm here.
Maybe copy the
locale from the
the
translation.
files that has the
This one, isn't it? So let's copy it and let's paste it here.
locales folder.
Locales folder, okay. And I can actually import the same way I did, and I could actually do that. And I can do that, okay. And then let's call it the resources here. So let's just put it here. Perfect. So this is gonna be the translations. So
Maybe we in the future we have a lot. If you will do this thing, if you have a lot of languages, you could just make a project,
yeah,
part this from a index file inside the
yeah,
locales folder.
yeah. Good idea. Really. Oh,
Yes.
not here. It's here. New file index.js. There we go. So I can get. You mean get these from here, and we'll get these, and from here. But this is gonna be just like direct.
Exactly.
Then let's just remove it. Okay, and then export default translations. There you go. So in here I will just import translations from locales. Then I will have something like that. So let's try to understand what's happening here. I have the language provider. The language provider will get the locale and set locale. I will use state. This is gonna get from local storage. If the local storage doesn't give it me back, I will get anything from the navigator language. Nice. I need to check, just like I did here. It's gonna be something like that. So in the translations, inside of these, it's gonna be something just like that. Let me just make it better. Let's do this, do that, because now this is gonna be a little bit bigger. So let's do that, let's do that, and now I can do something like that. Instead of this, it's gonna be this. Wait, what?
Just locale, locale or English US.
What?
Because you translation.
Yeah, no, the thing is, if I get, for example, I get a locale that it's from Russia, and I don't have the Russia translation.
Yes,
Okay?
translations locale, and you
Let's
use the
just
ternary.
yeah, just
Translation.
let me just go back to that, because let me just understand.
Or
So
translations locale and pipe translations
yeah, because
English US.
what I have here is, if I don't get the translation, so I'm just going to use the navigator. Okay, and
Yes.
if well, if I have the translation, in my case I have English, Brazilian Portuguese, and Spanish. Okay, so if I have that, I would
Yes.
use that. If it's not, I'm going to use the English one.
But since you are already setting this up in line 7, you
Yeah, I
could
could use
just
that. Yeah,
in the line 18, you could just t equals to translations, and inside of the no, what I
what
mean,
about that?
it it's another, but go for it, go for it. It will work the
What do you
same.
think of that? And what was your idea?
I don't know what is the oh
Yeah, because
shit
yeah,
in
now
English.
I'm just using
It's
the
a,
yeah.
but you could use the old what you have before that, and in the line that has the t method
This one.
that is inside the value,
Yeah, this one.
the translations could have locale, they or if you put something like translations locale
Don't you have
by
access to the code?
yeah.
You could do
Oh.
that. Where? Yeah, yeah. There you go. You are here, man. You can do that. Just do it.
Okay, okay. Can you go back a little bit? So because I don't know if I press
Your
Control
voice
Z.
is a little bit robotic for me.
Okay, better now.
Better.
Go back a little bit. Change the use state like you was before.
Got it.
Control Z.
You want me to do that?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Now did you get it?
Yeah, yeah. I get it. Let's think together.
Okay.
What does that mean? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That,
So we have the
that if
locale. We have the locale. Because we have the locale and set locale. Why are we using the locale and set locale?
let's think about how this works.
Yeah,
When with our page, the language provider, if we put it in the app.js,
yeah,
will load once.
yeah,
Okay, the locale will be defined by the local storage.
yeah.
If
If
you don't,
not, by the browser.
by the browser. If if our translations doesn't have translation for the language of the browser, it will check uh, translations locale.
Yeah,
I don't sure if that's gonna work in the line 18, but we could try.
yeah,
But we would have translations locale. Uh, uh, T equals to translations locale. If we don't have, but I think about something now.
yeah.
Translation uh, has to be a method, right?
A
No,
method?
actually, don't.
No, you can just
That
use an object.
actually doesn't. If we have translations locale, if it's not new uh, or undefined, something like that,
Yeah,
we'll put it translations locale. If it doesn't, it will have the English US.
seems good. Seems good to me. Seems really good to me.
Okay, let's try.
So nice, nice. And now we can try it. Let's put it into the hooks. Okay. No, no, no. First, we need to import the theme provider. Okay. So import from Bruno, and let's get language provider. Nice. So I'm just going to add this to my application. right? So we just wrap
Right.
it. The first step is to wrap it, and then we go to the hooks, and we need to import just like that from Bruno, and then we need to get the context here. There we go, we have the context. Perfect. So we can do exactly the same thing, but we can use the team context, and let's check if they give me the VS Code will not understand that, but okay. Let me just remember what we've done here. So we have T and change language, okay? I could not use T, so let's call T Bruno for now, and if it works we will change everything to this idea, okay? So we have the change language and T Bruno, okay? And let's do that here, change language and T Bruno. Nice, seems nice. And now we need to test it into a component. Do you think that is gonna
Yeah.
work?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Seems really good. Let me just get it. Let me just close it. Oh, it's not this one. Let's close this. And so I have T Bruno. T Bruno, it's gonna be an object, okay? So
Yeah.
in
An
here
object.
we can use the T Bruno, and we need to import it. T Bruno from this. What have I done? Change the language.
Maybe.
It's the button. I don't want this into the button. Let's just not use this like here. Blah, 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 blah. Hot dog here. I don't want to do that. So it's gonna be T Bruno.
Since you're not a function anymore, it's
Oh yeah, it's yeah.
It's an object. You're going to put a crochet to speak to say that. Okay.
Console, yeah.
You're going to put on
let me see what's in here first. Yes,
steps page, and after that home page, and after that hot dog. You know?
Yeah, it's
actually, no. It's not.
This should be
labels.
working. Why it's not working? We have T Bruno. It's gonna be T Bruno dot translation.
We get a rate.
It's gonna be T Bruno. I believe it's this one, isn't it? Yeah.
Hello, Neverland. What you are guys doing? We are building a React application.
Yeah.
From the ground, and now we are set up in.
Hey, we will receive it. We will receive the raid. Look at that. It's Neverlandy. Welcome everybody from Neverlandy. Welcome Neverlandy. How was your stream? I believe that it was a good stream. And what we are doing right now, we are actually building a infrastructure to create products for our clients. So we are using Nodejs in the backend with GraphQL, and we have Docker in the backend as well, in the front end. We have GitHub, we have Git Actions that we are working to do the CI/CD process, and we have Jest in the backend to do the tests. In the front end, we are using React. We will use Apollo client to connect to the backend, and we are using styled components. We will use Jest. We will use Cypress and Jest, and this to do the tests. We use the CI/CD process as well to do all of these, and we have the Docker file using images, and all these images, when we build that, we pass through all the CI/CD process. We send it to the Docker Hub. And right now, and today, the most important part in our life today, we are working with translations. So we started working with a library called I18 Next. It's a library that does that. And then Bruno told me, hey, actually we could do that by ourselves instead of using a library. And this is one of the things that we like to do in our company. We like to reduce the amount of libraries that we use. So Bruno just looked at me and said, hey, we could do it. Instead of using a library, we could just do that. We can use the React context API to do that. And I thought that idea was a real good idea. That Bruno was really amazing thinking about that. And then we started to try to do that. Instead of using a library, use React context to do that for us. And now that's what we're doing. We are working the translation and trying to do that by ourselves instead of using a library, because we already know how to use the library. So is it possible to do that without using a library? And it's actually working. We managed to do that. Bruno, do you want to say anything?
No, it's perfect. And now I know how to say colchetes in English. Square brackets. Awesome.
Nice.
I learned it finally.
Yeah, and I am a Brazilian. Bruno is a Brazilian as well. I live in Lisbon right now, and I'm moving to Hamburg in the next month. I will move to Germany, and he works in the south of Brazil in a company called Platanus. It's in the name of the it's in the banner. So we work for a software development company, and what we do here, the main idea of what we are doing here, is to build something that's easy to use. So if it's difficult, we just let it go and we just try to do it again the most easy way as possible for people that's junior, people that's just starting to develop software, and we are trying to empower these juniors with knowledge to build good products to the client. So when we are talking about the backend, we talked about things like domain drive design and the layers of the project, how to build a good API, how to create the folders and the places that should be done. And we are now doing exactly the same thing in the front end. So in the front end, we use a standard called Atomic Design. So we use a standard to build the front end. But instead, just start doing that. We are doing all the infrastructure that's necessary to create a front end. And everything that we are done here, we did it by hand, line by line. So for example, we are not using Create React App. We are using Webpack with all the configurations, and we did all the configurations, and I've explained everything. So I'm trying the best as I can to explain engineering for everyone that's watching the live, and explaining how everything works behind the curtains, and if it's possible, as easy as possible to do anything. And if you have any doubt about anything that we are doing, you can just ask us. You can just go to the Discord and talk to us. Well, we are more than open to receive any information. Of course, we are here to learn as well. Everything that I have, I kind of have a plan for every life. But for example, this translation, Bruno just said, hey, we could do that by ourselves. why didn't us? Why are we not doing that? And I just like, you're right. We could actually do that, and then we just started to do, and we create a translation environment using the React context instead of using a library, and it's working. It's actually working. I just need to change the function to use the function that it's used in the React context.
Nice.
Anything to add, Bruno?
No, it's just that.
Nice.
It's
So,
safe, but
going back to what we were doing, well, now we have the language provider, and okay, we have the change language. So if we want to use the change language, we need to do that and pass the language that we want to be changed. So I will go back to the component. Where's the component? Yeah, it's here. So I will use the change language instead of doing that. And it's the same name, isn't it? Yes, beautiful. So I can do that. Is it going to work? English? Oof. Man, Bruno, you are a genius, man. You are a genius. You are really incredible. Look at that. It works perfectly. We have the hot dog, we have the perito caliente, and we have... No. Actually, no, it's not working. Let me just remove these and let's check it again. So, start with English, perito caliente, hot dog. Why it's in Portuguese? It's still hot dog. Yeah, we don't have the PTBR. This should be like that. And English is working because it's the default one. Let's try it again.
yes.
Cachorro, yes.
When
In Portuguese, cachorro, yeah.
yeah, Deborah, it's
Yeah,
her name, right?
Debra, yeah.
Yeah, Deborah. I was taking a look and that's weird.
Yeah,
Not working exactly
exactly.
perfectly.
Yeah, she's QA, you know. She's always looking to the code and saying, something is wrong in that code. You know?
Yeah.
She has that kind of she's a QA. She says, feel that smelly smell. Nice. So português is gonna be cachorro quente, espanhol is gonna be perito caliente, and English is gonna be hot dog. And it's, man, it's I don't even know what to say to you, but well, we did it and we did it live. So as we did it, let's remove everything and improve the names. So I will remove it.
Maybe we don't need the translation object inside the just to T Bruno dot translation, just T Bruno and the text key.
I didn't get it.
Look at that. We
Got
have
it.
T
Got
Bruno.
it. The Tribuno
Maybe
dot-
remove the
the
translation
dot
object
translation
wrapping
object.
everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it's not necessary.
Let me just remove. So first of all, let's just remove. Oh. Yeah. So let's remove the library. The first thing, let's remove the library. Okay. So
I will check the link, Victor. Just a second.
I think the Discord invite link doesn't work. Let me just, yeah. Can you check it for me, Bruno, please, and send the Discord. Yeah. So I will just remove the library. Okay. So remove this folder as well, and I will move this folder to be the one that's this is gonna be INT. Okay. This is gonna create a lot of errors. No problem. We will make it better in a moment. So this is not gonna be T pronoun. This is gonna be T.
Try that one, and later we fix the.
Yeah. Yeah, we fix it.
Let me know if you.
Yeah. Thanks. Nice. So okay. Let me just make it go here. So the translations. Why is the translations doing the dot translation thing?
I think it's inside of the locales.
Yeah, and the index. Yeah.
The files.
So this is gonna be just like that, I believe. Yeah. And this is gonna be just like that. And this it's gonna be that, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Seems good. Okay, so I've just changed these two. This is gonna be changed language. This is gonna be T. Okay, and now into the index. This does not exist anymore. This is gonna be I. This is gonna be just keep the same thing in the user context. Instead of this, it's gonna be this. Okay, and this is gonna be T. Okay, this does not exist anymore, so this does not exist anymore. This and this does not exist anymore. Nice, save it. Okay, and I go to this, and then this is gonna be the T. Change the language, and this it's just gonna be the T, and I don't have the translation anymore. It's gonna be just T. Compile it successfully, and let's just check. Portuguese, Spanish, English. Beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's
Looking good.
looking good. Man,
Nice.
I really need to hug you through the internet. This is really beautiful, and now I can do something that I really love to do. Docker execute.
Rid of libraries.
Yeah, get rid of libraries. We are saying that. I know that some people will say, it's just because JavaScript, lot of libraries and that. Man, this is for all the software development language that you have. It's gonna be exactly the same thing. Neverlandy. Neverlandy send me a rate, and okay. So
Yes, we keep saying that get rid of libraries and stuff like that, but I wrote a library and nobody will use it, so it's hurtful.
yeah. So as many things as we can remove and do not use is gonna be better. So we just use the props, and there you go. Small dependencies. So when we go live into production, this is the only dependencies that we are going to use. Right now, we are going to use a lot more because we use Apollo and all that. So this is gonna grow a little bit, but we need to focus. If we are working with software development, we need to focus making this as small as we can. Okay, so this is it's really important to make this small, because when you go live, you don't want a lot of libraries messing up with everything that you're doing. Actually, I know that it's possible to remove prop types from production. I remember that there is a way that you can use prop types just locally, and when you go live, you can make the webpack build without the prop types. I will study a little bit better about this, but this is gonna be a good idea. It's the same thing that happens when you use, for example, TypeScript. When you use TypeScript, the compiled file that goes to production it will not be a TypeScript file. It's going to be a JavaScript, a pure JavaScript one, and it will not checks for the types into production. You will not have a type system into production. Production will be just like common regular JavaScript file. So we could do the same thing with prop types. I just need to study a little better, and this means that I can completely remove this one. Bubble loader is going to be necessary because we need to build our application. Actually, I believe that these four libraries should not be. It's not this one as well. So in the end, I will just have React DOM styled loader styled component. And this is gonna minimize the file. It's gonna make our application goes even faster. I will study a little bit more how will I do that, or if I don't need to do that because the Babel, when it compiles it, it's going to ignore these libraries, all these libraries, and it will just use the things that it's necessary to go live. I know that we have a possibility to do that. Okay, and as fast as we can go, it's gonna be really better. Okay, so we have the translation in point. Thank you, Bruno, for that. You were
You're welcome.
amazing as always. As always, you were one of the best things that we have in Platinus. Actually, I really like the guys. We have a really good teams. Everyone from Platinus, it's amazing. But this night you were, supreme. Thank you very much for that. It was really
Thanks,
nice.
man. Appreciate
Really
it.
nice. Really nice. So that's it. We worked with translation. I showed you how to use a library if you want to use a library. I showed you how to build your own translation library. Please, if you're going to use projects in the future into production, use these libraries. This is gonna be really important this is gonna be really important for everyone. It's really good when you go to a website this website understands your browser, understands your language, and can speak to you. It's really difficult when you go into a website that's in a language that you don't know. As I told you, I just know 3 different languages, but for example, when you go to a language that's written in Chinese, Arabic, German, or any kind of language, it's going to be really difficult for me to understand what's there. And if I have the possibility, this is going to be really better. So well, I believe that this is it. So guys, I will send you to some guy called I Develop Things. He's a real good software developer, and he works with JavaScript and all of that. And thank you very much to be here this night with me. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, guys.
See you every
Thanks for the
Tuesday
presence.
and every Thursday. We will be here building this application line by line and doing everything that's possible. And if you need anything, me and Bruno will be more than happy to help anyone that is out there. Okay?
Oh,
Bruno,
thanks,
thank
guys.
you very much again. Do you have anything to say in the end?
No, just thanks everyone for the presence, and see you next time.
Yeah, and Rafa said, come to Brazil.
Yeah,
I will. I need to do that, but coronavirus is not right now, blocking these kind of things. But I have the expectation. I need to move to Germany first, so I will move to Hamburg. And when I move to Hamburg, I will have my time in there. when everything is set up and I know that everything is good, I will for sure visit Brazil again. I will go to the south of Brazil and go to Platinus and visit all you guys, and maybe we do lives together with everyone in there, and it's gonna be really, really, really nice, guys.
Muito feliz. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado.
Drummering.
Muito feliz. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado.
Yeah, bye bye guys.
Bye.